Okay, this video is about pay after corporate build out. But for one quick note ahead of time, if you are a real business owner and you're wanting to build out of trade lines or corporate build outs where you can get real money, I'm going to give you one thing to tell you about right now. The daily pay loans. All you guys get daily pay loans, and all these brokers out there go throw all their clients on daily pay because it's easy, they make money, and they think they know what they're doing. They don't know what the crap they're doing. And if you're doing it, well, this is a better path for you and better path for your client. I'm going to tell you why. The daily pay, if you're pancaking your loans, the minute you get a second daily pay, your first loan's in default. Now, every lender is basing loans on the client's cash flow and how their business is. That determines the rate and the term, the type of loan, and the whole nine on the factor and the index and everything they put the daily pay on. So once you have the second loan, it's in default. I see this quite often. Most of the time, well, not most of the time, but a lot of the time, the lenders find out, because they do check and see they have a second daily pay. And guess what, Mr. Business Owner? A lot of you guys probably know this. Then you're in default, and what do? They start taking out full control of whatever they want to do. And that means they'll go from your normal daily pay to like quadruple your daily pay on both of them, because they communicate, and they will jack up your cash flow beyond belief. And I deal with companies making, $1 million a month to $100 million a month. And every scenario is the same thing. Well, maybe I don't have any doing $100 million a month, but I got several doing around $1 to $5 million a month. What am I saying? $100 million a month. Well, anyways, and that type of client is always messing with the daily pay because they don't want to go through somebody like that can get them a real term loan or something, or maybe they don't know better, but it wreaks havoc. And if when they raise the rate like that, if that ever goes into a negative scenario, then they'll freeze everything. But they don't always do that. That's kind of rare, but they will jack with the payment and raise it a lot. So the key is I can get you out of the day pay. This is the way to do it. Okay, so now I'm going to continue the video on the build and how to get a whole full corporate build out and proceed from there and get you back on track, and as well for anybody that has a corporation, and then go from there. If you have a real business, real location, everything, give me a call right now and then we'll get you into this funding. But this is for a corporation. If you're one of my existing clients, you know the route. We've already got your money. We're on this and been through it, so this is probably old news. But for all those people with corporations right now, this is what we're going to require. This is what's going to have to happen with your corporation so we can get you funding. You have to get a real location. It can't be a virtual office, can't be an executive suite. In a real location, that would mean ideally you go find a retail space at an older strip mall or older retail space somewhere off of Craigslist, and so it's got kind of a presence. Or if you want to find a lease within a sublease within a real office at a location, that'll work as well. Just it cannot be a virtual office or executive suite. I mean, I can get you other baby funding on that kind of stuff if you want to go that route, but we're talking real money because we're going to get like 1 to 3 to 400,000 right off the bat. So 3 to 6 months out, then I get you like $1 million, and then on up to $10 million after we put some properties and things on the corporation and get more and more. So real location, number one. Number two, you got to have 411 and a website. Number three, you got to be in good standing with Secretary of State. Also, in Secretary of State, you have to be 100% owner. And you can't have like a bunch of sub-owners and children or your wife and dog and everybody else on there. Okay, now, the next thing has to happen, you have to be in Google Maps. Go to Google Maps, input your address, get the letter, get the code, then you got to go back on Google Maps, enter the code, and then you'll be on Google Maps. Lenders see that, they think you're like golden. Perfect. Next, you have to make sure your freeze and fraud alert is off of mainly Experian and Equifax. I would do TransUnion as well, just in case. Now, when you do that, they're all going to lie because they do, or they just don't know any better. And 9 times out of 10, when we go for funding, that fraud alert still shows up, or the freeze shows up almost every single time. Because one of those bureaus is always a couple days behind when the one is same day. So that one will trigger the other 3 bureaus to go back on with the fraud alert, and it happens like almost always. So you need to call back and talk to like 3 different people at least at Experian and Equifax, because if you do this and we go for funding and that pops up, you just blew basically, well, 300,000-400,000 right off the bat, and at least $1 million and probably 10 million down the road, because it's going to toast everything. Next, you want to look at your personal credit file. If it's not strong enough, we can't do the corporate credit until it is strong enough. What I mean by strong enough, you need to have ideally 20% DTI, debt to credit ratio, debt to credit balance, 20% debt on your credit cards versus the credit limit. And you can't have a house for at least 12 months. I mean, you can't have bought a house or done a refinance in the last 12 months. Then you want to have some loans on the file. Technically, you want to have at least, 2 or 3 good cars on there. All right, so that's pretty much the layout. If you have trade lines on your corporation, I just hope that you don't have the small ones, and you haven't been following this no PG plan of like whatever vendor credit, where in like the next 5 to 10 years you might make it up to like some idiot advertising 250,000 in DMB. I mean 250,000 in no PG, which is just ridiculous. It will take you like 10 years to do the vendor credit and all that stuff. So for the most part, I'm going to tell you the fact, it's all personal guarantee. Now, that's just scammer talk and retardedness on the no PG thing. Primary trade lines, it's all scam, so forget that too. So, this is how you skip the build out. This is how you get the corporation build to where you get the big money. So once this is on, 1 to 3 to 400,000, real money, real loans, term loans, low rate, boom, it's home run, and it's downhill from there. So, if you're a broker and you got real clients with real locations, or you have people with corporations as well, we could do this. Give me a call as well. Or if you're real and you want to get funding, give me a call. My number is 312-473-4163. Thanks.